today's world of high-speed connection, text messaging, and social networking, we often find ourselves searching for information. There are millions of blogs on the internet. News, sports, politics, and tech. But I bring it all together for you and present it in a relentlessly unconventional fashion. My name is Zenny Abraham, and this is the Blog Report. It's time now for news.
A picture in 1960 called The Intruder, which was the first picture I ever made that lost money. But in about 2003 or 4, we did a commentary for the DVD version, and we finally broke even. Nice. We finally made it. We're okay on this film. But the film that I really want to talk about is, of course, Attack of the 50ft Cheerleader. We shot it in 3D for Epix, and it'll be on Epix, I think, August 25th. And I did it primarily because I had never shot in 3D before, and I wanted to see what the experience was. And it was rather interesting. The shooting is not that much more difficult in 3D. What is difficult, not even difficult, but time-consuming, the two lenses have to be put in perfect alignment for every shot. So you take longer to set up a shot to get the two lenses in perfect alignment. But once you've done that, you just shoot it like any other film. The problem is you can't align them once and you're done with it. You have to realign them for every individual shot. And that's what takes the time.
Did you find that affecting your making decisions then? Like you're not going to be able to go back and forth with people and have to have static?
We allowed for it. We had no idea how much longer it would take, but we allowed for a little bit more, and I think we went 1 day over schedule, which we don't often do because, again, it took a little bit longer. But in the cutting, it was kind of interesting. We found that we were holding on cuts a half a second or a second longer than normal. Because, say, cutting from you in a tight shot to over here in a medium shot, it takes the eye a fraction of a second to adjust to the difference in perspective. So, from a cutting standpoint, we're cutting just the way we always did, but we're just allowing a little bit longer, never more than a second longer to set it up. And on this one, Epix wanted, what the story is simply, it was their title, and I had to come up with a story to fit the title, Attack of the 50ft Cheerleader. And what happens is a scientific experiment goes wrong. In this type of picture, a scientific experiment always goes wrong. No picture. So what happens, this sort of slightly unattractive girl wants to be a cheerleader, but she isn't really that good looking. And her boyfriend, who's a chemical biology major, comes up with a serum that he thinks will make her look more beautiful. It works, but there's a side effect. It also makes her 50 feet tall. Now, another cheerleader, seeing how beautiful she's become, and it's before she becomes 50 feet tall, takes the serum herself, becomes more beautiful, and you end up with two 50-foot cheerleaders.
Oh my God.
Our big climax is the two 50-foot cheerleaders battle it out on the football stadium for homecoming day. And Epix wanted it shot two ways. They wanted it shot one way in which inadvertently their tops come off during And then I wanted another version in which the tops stay on, because I know we haven't really shot a picture with any nudity at all in it for a number of years. I don't know what the reason is. The only thing I can think of is that one time an R-rated picture with a little nudity above the waist was startling. Today there's so much nudity on the internet, it's no longer startling. So for us, this is the first picture in which we shot a topless version because Epix wanted the topless version, but I myself wanted, in addition, because I have a foreign, I wanted another version which is non-topless. Not topless. Now this means we have 4 versions of this picture because Epix wanted a 2D version as well as a 3D version. So you can see the arithmetic. We've got a 3D picture, which is one topless and the other non-topless. Then we've got a 2D picture, one topless and the other fully clothed. So we have 4 versions of the same picture, which means whatever market there is out there, we're ready.
How much of this is a statement about strong women or how a woman becomes strong or finds herself?
There is a little bit of that. I don't want to push messages into pictures. This picture is an entertainment. It's purely and simply it's an entertainment. But there is a little indication as not just the physical strength, the psychological strength of women. One of the things I insist, if we've done this type of picture before, and the first time we did it was a picture called The Student Nurses, in which these 3 nurses, we follow their story, and at the end their boyfriends solve their problem. And I said to the writer, no. These girls have to solve their own problem. And we followed that through a number of films. That it isn't the boyfriend. Boyfriend might help her a little bit, but the girl solves her own problem, and that's what these 2 50ft cheerleaders do.
We're talking a sequel, possibly?
There easily could be one, because something happens to one of the cheerleaders that isn't so good. And she could easily find a sin in another film that brings her back to the light.
What is it that keeps your brand strong all these years? I mean, everyone hears your name and they have an idea, a set. What is it that?
It's fun. It is really a fun way to make a living. If it weren't fun, I would stop. But for instance, this was a new challenge to shoot in 3D and to shoot on a reasonable budget. It's a bigger budget than our normal pictures, but it's not a giant budget. Epix gave us more money than usual because of the 3D, but we still had to do it within a reasonable budget.
Do you want to do it again, 3D?
Yes, I would do a picture again in 3D. I like the experience, and we learned a great deal from it. Part of the reason we did it was for that reason. It was a learning process.
Do you? I'm sorry. Hey, it's an honor to meet you, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Sure.
I grew up on that film, and it's one of my favorites of all time, and you influence me so much as someone who appreciates film, so this is such an honor to meet you and be here.
Same thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.